G'day, Roger.
All good?
Yeah.
Healthy?
Yeah. Very good. And you?
Family? Everything well?
Everything's good.
Great.
Nice
Let's
day.
have a nice chat.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You know, somewhat we started getting into it a little bit, so this is mental, and we just got a little bit into your psyche there at one point in your career. But for a golfer, you know, we say it's 90% mental playing golf, because it's somewhat an athletic move, the golf swing, but it doesn't necessarily require the same kind of training as a sport like tennis or many other sports. So where do you see how important the mental side is into it? Of course it's important, but do you have to work on it?
Yeah, I don't, thankfully. I don't have to work on it, but clearly, like in everyday life, you know, mental is important. About how happy are you, what do you want to achieve, what's your mental strength, can you endure hard days of not enough sleep, whatever it may be with the kids, I don't know, losing, how do you handle that? And so I think maybe tennis is 50-50, you know, because it is very physical, but it also is very demanding on the mind. But what I like about tennis is that when you're running around, sometimes you forget about the mental stress because you're focused on your feet moving and you're focused on your muscles fighting, being tired or whatever it may be. And then you go back to just playing, just try your best and figure it out, and you don't have much time. And so I think it distracts sometimes from the mental stress, whereas I think in golf, you walk up to the golf ball and you're like, well, I'm going to make it, and I feel really confident about it, or I know I'm going to miss it. I don't care how close I am to the hole, you know. And sometimes we feel the same if the match is going slow, and or you're playing a big server, so you have the points are shorter, and you don't get into these tougher rallies where it can distract you, you know.
Right.
So I think it really depends a little bit on who you play and how you go about it. But sure, my word mental strength, I think at the very top at some point is a key component to success, because doing the right things at the right time and time again, I think is the secret to success. And just that belief in yourself, believe in your team, believe in your fans, believe in the place you're playing in, all these things do matter, and they decide, I think, the outcome of the game. And very often I feel like I also in my subconscious, I don't know how it is with you or with other sports, is you feel it coming. If good things are coming or bad things are coming, you know, and this is where mental strength can really carry you sometimes over the line, because we don't feel equally good every single day. Nobody does, but you have to try to put yourself in that frame of mind that you can handle anything. And you in golf, like in tennis as well, we have wind, we have rain, we have, you know, different situations we have to battle through, and this is where I think a strong will and a strong mind can carry you through. So where is it in golf
doubt.
where you feel it the most, the biggest challenge? Is it on the green, or is it like after a round getting ready for the next round, or is it in the morning before? Where is it for you?
I think the big thing for golf is just the time we have. We have so much time to process so many thoughts, and it's the hardest challenge, keeping that mind calm. This is so great, talking to the greatest player who's played so good for such a long period of time. And of course,
I struggle, I tell you, it's an ongoing struggle.
It looks like it to me, but it's amazing, because you've said it so simply, what we're all trying to achieve, but so much goes into all these components of performing at a high level. And the time thing with golf is the hardest thing to control your mind. And
do you think of something completely different?
Sometimes
of a song,
it's quite good. We can have a caddy who can distract you, and you can have a conversation. And when you're in a great relationship with your caddy, he knows when to distract me, and he could see my mannerisms if I'm getting uptight or starting to get a bit nervous, something like this, and that can be a very good thing to lean on out there.
That's true.
So certainly that player-caddy relationship becomes a big part of it when the pressure's on, because he is the only other person that can really influence you once we're in that situation. He's standing right there. Very important what the caddy has to say at a certain moment. So that's a very interesting relationship.
Yeah, I can imagine, because it's not always
players
fun
and
games.
caddies.
Yeah,
It's very high intense environment to work in.
Do you feel a big difference between, let's say, the first round and the fourth round in terms of how you go about, you know, in your relationship with the caddy? Does it get much more intense, or do you actually try to play every round like it is the fourth round? Because that's what my approach is in tennis. People go, are you more nervous before a finals? And sure, maybe before a Wimbledon finals, because I know, you know, you're so close to the trophy, yet so far, I'll think about these things more often, and I'll maybe get a little bit more, you know, butterflies in the tummy and more nervous, you know, and feel that more throughout the day. But in actual fact, I feel the same way once I warm up. I feel like it's the same first round or finals or quarters. And sometimes, for some reason, I might get really nervous in the second round, because it's just the type of opponent I'm playing with, the type of conditions that are upon me, that I will feel more nerves, you know. So I was wondering if you you have the same feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I think I play those little games with myself where I play the first hole of the tournament like it's the 72nd hole to win. Put the pressure on. Focus right now from the first hole. Don't spend the next 3 hours just like lulling around, because golf takes 4 days before there's a result.
Every shot could matter down the road.
And it does matter down the road. So like, let's switch on from the first and play it. It's like you have to make par to win the tournament, the first hole. And certainly I'm probably most nervous playing the first hole of a tournament most weeks. More than even if I'm winning or a chance to win the tournament. I've spent 3 or 4 days getting a feeling for how I'm moving and hitting it, and I'm quite in control, I feel, by Sunday afternoon of things. And of course there's some butterflies, and you can't help but realize the situation you might be in, but I feel more in control than when I start out. It's like, okay, we're starting from zero, let's see where we're at, and I try and switch on straight away. So sometimes you have to play these little mental games with yourself out there to get the best performance.
What about mental, practice, or do you work on your mental side of the game, or for you it comes naturally to be where you are today, or have you worked with somebody to get you in a different mindset, or maybe focus or forget about the pressure? Do you guys as golfers work a lot with people, or?
A lot of guys do, but it's personality types ultimately. I mean, some guys respond well to working with a psychologist and having that kind of professional relationship to talk about
fears maybe,
or you know, just anything that's going on. I've always had a good relationship with my coaches in the past, where they've been able to mentally prepare me through just word, not even professional psycho babble or anything.
Just conversations.
And just getting my belief to a level just through knowing me as a person.
I feel like that's me too.
I'm not going with, you know, golf psychology 101 or anything like that. But you mentioned the word self-belief before. It's the biggest thing in achieving anything. And I felt for a long time I lacked what I needed, and it was more from just not having a big enough ego, really. I mean,
confidence.
And confidence. And I think the self-belief, once that was starting to be injected into me, I mean, I saw a big performance, and it didn't mean I became arrogant and unapproachable or anything. It's that inner belief. So I've certainly always tried to maintain that kind of confidence, which is tricky at times.
It's very tricky.
Sure.
Because we also lose a lot at the end of the day. There's always a lot at stake, and when you lose, I feel like all your momentum and all your confidence you've gained can be taken away, maybe with one shot for you, for me. And that's where we live on the very fine line, thin ice there. So.
Professional sport, I think generally everyone at the top level of professional sport will see like such a fine line between right at the pinnacle and not succeeding. I mean, it comes down to millimeters in golf.
True. Same for us.
A point in tennis, it's incredible, and the way that momentum changes things.
But I feel like you can't push luck on your side, you know, in some crazy way. It's almost unexplainable how sometimes you can do it, you know, but by going about it with the right confidence and the right mental strength, I think that can carry you extremely far.
I think I get most, For me, most of my confidence comes from the preparation.
Yeah.
I just know I now, later in my career, I know what I need to do to be ready. I mean, you learn so much along the way, and I wish I knew it 20 years ago, but I've learned so much, and so now I just do it. So I know I'm confident enough when I get there.
You've proven yourself that in practice and in matches so many times that you know I can hit a putt, I can hit a driver, I can hit a serve, I can hit a forehand. Yeah, absolutely. I think practice makes perfect to some extent, so you can also be confident about that fact. Yeah, it's very important.